Welcome, everybody, to the Hooligan Sports Podcast, Season 2, Episode
20.
Big week. Big week. Right off the bat, I know you're noticing something new. We got a new guy on the soundboard.
Got a new sound man.
This is the worst idea ever.
We got the
Hey, what is this
But
Hey, we got the quick.
Boosters is already trying to cut him off.
right.
We haven't even started the first episode with Christian. He was already warned. Poor guy.
Horrible.
Poor guy.
Man.
He's like,
I
I get nothing.
You can never do nothing. Gosh.
You guys, we were hoping last episode, we were like, maybe next episode we're going to be celebrating the first overall pick. Not quite.
Rigged.
Who got the first pick?
Oh, we don't know yet. we will
rigged?
find out for another few weeks.
It definitely wasn't us.
But hey, 2's better than 8, I guess, or 7, or 6.
I swear to God.
I think we just got it off right now.
Yeah, the first overall pick went to a team who has not been determined yet. One of the losers in the first round. But we moved up 2 spots from 4 to 2.
Chicago, I swear to God.
So speaking of that, there's a certain teams right off the bat that we know we don't want to get this pick. I feel like right off the bat, Chicago, Vegas,
Yeah.
Edmonton again, right?
Edmonton, Pittsburgh.
They've had the first pick for the past 30 years.
Pittsburgh has been consistently good for at least 15 years. They don't no, just go away.
So right off the bat, those guys
I
cannot get the
want
first
their
overall
fans
pick.
having nice things.
Right? Yeah.
I don't want Sidney Crosby to have nice things.
I need it to be like Columbus or
He's
even
an enemy of the
Nashville,
podcast.
So
or I don't
that
know.
means you don't want them to choke during the playing games.
So that's what's weird. I'm gonna be rooting for the Knights to win in the first game, and then,
So they don't get the first
so they don't get the pick, and then
all right,
lose,
Vegas, don't screw this up.
and then lose every potential game after that.
Yeah, that's I can.
Or the
I can agree with
Blackhawks
that.
too.
I know. It's for a weird time we're rooting for teams we hate, but this is the one time where that's appropriate.
Imagine if they get first pick again.
I won't. I'm
And
also
they
upset.
don't even have to give everyone up on the
I know.
Seattle
Oh yeah, they're exempt,
draft.
right?
They're exempt. So they. Oh my god.
Vegas. Well, it'd be actually kind of funny though if they did choke.
What would be funny about that, Boosters? That
They were
is nothing funny.
They're supposed to You're supposed to be a team that goes deep in the playoffs, but they choke.
I forgot.
Oh, these are the people.
These are the people on the show,
These are the
guys.
people.
I mean, we got distracted because Christian already had a soundboard.
Christian just drug us into the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something, a first for hockey fans rooting for teams you don't like, especially in the first round, just because you're looking at the big picture, not the cup itself, but the potential impact on a franchise over the next decade with
Right.
a talent like this. You're like, that's big picture scary, as opposed to the playoffs, which is small picture scary.
Right.
So right off the bat, we need Vegas to win that first game. For the first time ever, we're going to be rooting for the Knights.
Go Knights, go.
GKG.
Go Knights.
Christian, how do you feel about that?
No.
No.
See, that would be a good one for Ray, because Ray would be the winner. I feel like
How do
very
I feel?
conflicted. I feel like he'd have that internal struggle of do I pull myself
Anger
in?
and rage.
Yeah.
But does it really matter right now who gets the number 1 pick? Because we already know who's the number 1 pick going to be.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why it's scary, because we know who it's going to be. It's the highly touted prospect everybody knows, Alexis Lafreniere, who's been everybody's list as number 1 and
Dominated World Juniors.
He's a dominating player. They're saying he's not on the level of a
He's gonna be a
McDavid.
bust.
I hope so.
He's gonna be a bust.
Well,
we didn't get him, so I hope so.
That was legitness.
He's a little
That's
older
what he
than
is.
he's a little older for the draft too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, what good number 1 picks have come out the past couple years? Last one I can remember is maybe Connor McJesus.
who? I'm not familiar with
Connor
Connor
McDavid.
him. He plays on Calgary, right?
Yeah.
Obscure
Somewhere up in
Canadian
Alberta.
hero.
That dinner Blum said the most utter "Go Knights Go" was the most offensive things I've heard on the podcast. Just utter trash.
Yeah, that's honestly the first time you probably will ever hear
Yes.
Yes.
a Go Knights Go on this podcast is.
We've been
I am,
drinking.
I am disgusted right now.
I gotta go take a shower. I think you're hitting Christian.
Yeah.
Your soundboard cord
Oops.
right here is
pulling.
Oops.
causing some static.
Oh
for
no,
the
it was
people.
this. It was this.
Okay, so
Accidentally pressed
okay,
the-
we didn't get number 1, but we got number 2.
Two's
So
good.
number 2, which for us moving up 2 spots is franchise
spot.
changing in the sense that we're getting. Here we go. We're gonna get an amazing player,
Okay,
a player who's
Christian.
gonna change the franchise.
Christian, this is a good thing, not a bad thing.
It-
I mean it in a good way.
No,
See, I know.
That's That's
put thoughts into what I'm using on the soundboard.
That's for a bad thing. That's not for a good thing.
So, our two options right now are Quentin Byfield and Tim Stutzel, German, the Canadian. Both guys are going to be
Good prospects.
supposedly amazing
Oh,
prospects.
Okay, that's enough. Hoolie's down.
Wow.
You killed Hooli!
What's going on? This is a live
So-
show, guys.
Yeah, I think we're regretting the idea of getting him to soundboard.
I think Boosters is really.
No, you're just mad it's not you.
Well, you're using
If
it
this
every
becomes an
day.
actual fight, whoever's watching this, just record and then re-upload it. And don't forget to tag us so this can go viral.
Yeah, send them to the rooms.
Send
Send them to the
them-
corner.
Send it in the penalty box.
2 minutes each for roughing,
Okay,
and then unsportsmanlike
And
conduct
sportsman.
on Boosters.
okay, let's go now.
So, yeah, like I'm saying, two players that can potentially change the franchise forever. Two players who instantly become the Kings' number one prospects. I feel like they're both better than Turcotte or Velarde or whoever else.
we still
Infinitely
got
better than
them,
Thomas
too.
Hickey. Just saying, just throwing it out
I
there.
don't know. Jury's out.
I mean,
That
the
continues
picks
our
that we had
obscure
la-
Thomas Hickey reference for this episode.
the picks that we had last year were good too. I mean, we're
The
just
picks we had last year were
constantly building.
amazing. Last year's draft turned around the
Yeah.
franchise immediately and
Yeah.
put us into the number one farm team, obviously,
Yeah.
in all hockey. The fact that
Rob Blake doesn't know what he's doing.
Blake
He needs to be fired, said everybody that doesn't know what they're talking about.
Blake's been clutch. Honestly, like everyone has their opinions on Blake as a player, but Blake is a GM. I know there's certain people out there who will hate on him regardless, but the fact the shape the franchise is in right now is insane. Like everybody who I've talked to, Kings fans, are just like 2-3 years, even going into next year, depending on however this works out. This team's gonna be crazy. The potential is there for them
Okay.
to just be dominating the Pacific
with
Division.
how good we are right now in the farm system, like every time I think about it, I just cannot help but think of that scene in Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, where Dr. Evil and all of his crew are
All the
laughing.
henchmen, yeah.
They're just laughing for like a good 30 seconds, and it gets really, really, really uncomfortably silent. That's me whenever I think of the
That's what it
Kings.
feels like.
That's what it feels like.
I mean, it's definitely been
That also needs to be on the soundboard too at some point.
just the laugh loop.
Yes, that full laugh loop.
I'm with it. I'm
Next
about it.
episode.
Yeah. It's crazy to think about it.
Also, Alma noticed in the chat, wow, Christian got punked by Bustos, LOL. This is going to be another interesting wrinkle in our Hooligan Bachelor. Dinner
I'm still in the lead.
Oh, you're in the lead, by the way.
Dinner
minutes
says
winning.
he's better than Hickey, but on a scale of 1 to Dwight King, how impressive.
Hey, Dwight King has 2 cups.
Right? I'm not sure exactly where he ranks on the Dwight King scale.
But think about this. You can't go wrong with either of those two picks, especially what the Kings need.
So what do they need? That's the thing.
Well, I think they did a wing, but
Technically, I feel like they need defense. Because
Yeah, they do.
have a lot of good defenders, but they don't have like that
The
next
dominant number one.
Dowdy kind of
Yeah.
level defenseman.
Speaking of,
but-
was the last time we got
Was the last number
pick
2.
was when we got Drew Doughty.
Turned out fine.
Turned
But
out
so
fine.
if the Kings' philosophy was more on drafting by need, I feel like they would go for a defenseman.
mean,
but
hopefully-
at this point, like that would be the dumbest move they could
well,
ever make.
hopefully Ottawa's desperate, and you'll trade 3 and 5 to the Kings for number 2.
So I was looking at some proposals, and I guess some people suggested Ottawa trading number 3, and I think they have another late first rounder.
Yeah.
Ottawa trading number 3 to us would be like a solid troll to San Jose, because that was their
Right,
the
yeah, that
third
was
pick
the-
to Ottawa was
was the
via
Sharks
San Jose,
first.
and I'm like, oh man. So not
Yes.
only did you lose out on getting a top,
But-
one of the picks up
Well,
there.
I don't think they would though, just because those two players available are so even.
Yeah.
And that's the thing right now. I guess with Byfield, he's younger, but he has more potential. He has a higher ceiling. He's a bigger player. He's a younger guy, but he's still like a raw talent.
Yeah.
As opposed to Stutzel, he's more NHL ready and he's a flashier player. So he might pay off right away. But if Byfield lives up to his expectations, he can be one of the most dominant players
Right.
ever, like on a sense. Just because he's 17 years old right now and he's 6'4", 220.
He's like a man already.
Yeah, and he's
Coming
like, he hasn't even got his big boy muscles.
And I think
yet.
Byfield's a choice because you can always convert these centers.
Quentin Byfield, y'all.
And what's cool about, honestly, what's interesting about him, like all the hype on him is like things normally not associated with the big guy. Like he's an explosive skater. He's a fast skater, which I mean for your size is welcome. But given his size, that's not something that I guess the scouts have talked about. Like, he's not a physical guy.
I'm about to be a Quinn Byfield stan account.
You're about to
I have
like
no idea.
I
No
honestly
clue.
could see that. I could definitely see that. But the fact that he's not a physical presence yet, that's something you can learn. That's something he can eventually pick up and add to his game if he becomes a physical presence with his offensive ability.
Quentin Byfield.
Christian's gonna get arrested for being a stalker. Like, we're gonna get to those levels. If he lives up to that potential, Christian's not gonna be allowed within 100 feet of
Worth
Staples
it.
Center.
Totally worth it.
Like, oh god, he's back on the
Yeah.
list.
So I think Byfield's a choice. I think you can move.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
think
smartest
he-
thing
I
you've
think-
said all day, Joshua.
All podcast history.
I think you can move people to wings. So
Yeah,
get-
he immediately becomes the top like center prospect ahead of other guys, which
I
is
was-
interesting. And like certain guys like Turcotte, he can move to the wing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
is
mean-
Velarde.
I feel Velarde would probably be the second line center, and Kupari would move over to the wing too.
But
They have options. That's
Yeah.
what's cool, and like they
imagine,
have depth. Like,
imagine looking at our prospects and our future. Imagine we just go with a USA line, Canadian line, and then a European line, the 1, 2, 3 line. As a-
yeah, that would be. I mean,
could you go with the American line of Caleb?
Yeah, because they
Kaliev?
just signed in. I mean,
Kaliev,
there's a.
you go Caleb, Turcotte, and then Miller. Not Miller. Madden.
yeah, dude.
America.
And then you go with the Canadian line of Byfield, Velarde, and either Thomas or
Too many centers,
or
but I
J,
feel-
JAD.
yeah, and the fact we'll have
And then-
Byfield and Thomas.
And then you go,
I'm saying
and then you go,
growing the game. I'm talking big picture too.
and then the third line of Kopitar with the kids of Kopari and Fagamo. You have Team Europe right there. And forgetting a whole bunch of other players.
Like, as you're saying that, I'm realizing we do have too many centers. Like,
We have
we
a
have
lot of centers.
Like,
We
all-
can't pick up another. We have a lot of
we
centers.
have too many
dude.
centers, honestly.
I know.
We're gonna be
Way
like
too
how
many.
we always say the Dodgers can
With all the
farm.
outfielders.
Yeah, they can farm a second
that's-
team just off the extra guys.
Right.
Well,
the Kings are gonna be in that territory.
Well, that's why you can convert those guys to wings, though.
All right, what's your guys' prediction on when the Kings are back in the playoffs?
2 years.
2 years. So not
In
this
playoffs
upcoming-
or winning it.
making the playoffs.
Next
Next year.
Not next year. No,
Realistically,
next
no, I think next,
Next
year.
year.
I think
Realistically,
the
2
young
years.
guys are. I think the young guys are not ready next year.
So you're saying next year is a big growing year for
Yeah,
everybody?
next year we'll be in contention. But
I
we
think
won't make
next
it.
year would be in the same model as the 2008-09 season, where it was expected for the Kings to be terrible, and then they, out of nowhere in the second half, like even though they weren't going to make the playoffs by a few
Well,
games,
that was kinda like this
they,
year.
They went on this berserk run in the second half. And
Yeah.
It was
And
It
that's-
gave you a preview, and it was a preview to the 2010 season, which they did make the playoffs.
Tommy's on the chats.
And that was kind of like this year with prior to COVID. I mean, I think we could have made a good run at the end. You know.
So
So see what
do you
happens.
yeah, that's another thing. Just talking about the momentum that the team had, like with a lot of these young guys playing at the end, I feel like that's going to be a positive. Obviously, the season ended early.
Shut
but
up, Tommy.
You already got the first 21 in here.
I just don't know.
Blackjack.
I like.
There's a 21 on the soundboard if you want to press it. It's right there in the blue column, the last one.
He's gonna
Just-
delete it. He's gonna totally delete it.
21,
There it
Are you
is.
happy now? Are you happy now, Tommy? Is this what you wanted?
21,
Is this- the one right above it. The one right above it.
Oh, I got a perfect soundboard
What's
for
9
Tommy.
plus 10?
21,
You know, you got to do one
Okay,
for Tommy.
Tommy.
What?
What can Brown do for you?
Wow.
That's a good one.
I feel like that works on him for so many levels.
So many levels.
There's
Not
so
just-
many
not
levels.
Well, here's the question.
There was layers to that joke.
Yeah, there's like three.
You got to unwrap that
Yeah.
one.
Here's a question about
So
next
story
year's
for another
team.
time.
Who,
That's another
which of the young guys are going to come up?
Or which of the young guys will become trade bait?
Yeah.
Which of these young guys are going to be used to acquire maybe a better veteran piece,
Well,
a la Braden Shen and Wayne
I would-
Simmons
no, I
on
actually
the
would-
last
I would
cup
actually
run,
trade for
getting
us.
Mike Richards.
Sorry, trade for a defenseman.
Yeah, or you also figure once all these guys' contracts are up, the Kings are going to have cap space.
But
Like
yeah.
that's going to be available again, and then that's scary.
Because
That's
Car-
what changed
Car-
about this year is the cap space.
Carter
Freeing
and
it up.
Brown in 2 years are free agents.
Oh, are we still paying for Mike Richards too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That goes away
Yeah.
in a couple more years.
Yeah.
It's cool.
What about what's his name that went to
Worth it.
Edmonton?
Totally worth it.
which
Forgot
one?
his name. The guy,
Guy.
Oh,
Dino paid a lot of money for Sakara.
Oh, under
Sakara.
Sakara?
that was a
Yeah.
trade. That wasn't a signing trade.
Oh, that was a try. That's right. Yeah, thank
it was a
goodness.
1 year
Tommy
trade.
says Kempe's going to want money.
Yeah,
Kempe's
Kempe.
not
I
good,
think he'd
man.
be one that they can.
Kempe!
He could be one that
Kempe's
they
gonna
cut.
want money, but his problem is
If he
Kempe
wants
gonna
money,
fit-
he
gotta
better step it
produce.
up.
Yeah,
He's better
produce,
step it up.
man.
and
Is
let-
Kempe
try
gonna
to
fit
get
in
that
this
money.
roster?
Yeah, once all these guys start coming up, Kempe might be on the way
A
out.
fourth line
Trade bait.
a fourth line player.
And maybe while he still has value, like
I
I don't think he's on the big picture. of
Rob
things.
Blake could
I mean, think
could
about
finesse him to somebody.
You have Iafallo and Lazat as guys who are solid players.
And see,
And
that's
we're
what
not even talking about them in our.
That's okay. Good point. Because I noticed that the other day. Because when this happened, we were all hyped talking in the group chat, like, "Oh my God, potential lineups and all this other stuff." But there's guys currently on the roster like the Matt Luffs, the Wagners, the Iafallos, who are still really young guys,
Renstrom.
early 20s, that could potentially play on the team for another decade. Like, you know what I mean? And they're not even considered when bringing in all these prospects. Where we have enough prospects now to fill the whole roster.
Alma is willing to sacrifice Adrian Kempe for the greater good of this team.
I mean,
I
Alma,
I think Wagner.
Alma, like, tell me what are we gonna have for catering at the wedding?
Oh Jesus.
Oh gosh.
here we go.
What-
I think.
Next subject.
I think
Who do we have performing at the
Wagner's going to
reception?
be one that could probably be traded to.
Also, we
I don't
have.
want to-
I think he needs to find
No.
the back of the net more.
Exactly.
You
I
leave
love it.
Austin Wagner
Dude,
alone.
he's my favorite player, but I mean,
I want him to succeed
And-
for
I
so
want-
many
yeah,
personal
and
reasons.
not finding the back of the net.
We have Caleb. We have Fagamo. We got
Yeah, Kaliev.
Kopari.
Yeah.
We got Caleb. We got.
You got Jared Anderson, Dolan.
Madden.
Akil
both-
Thomas.
yeah,
Akil
Dude.
Thomas.
Yeah, there's too many
Lazard.
guys. Turcotte,
Turkov,
Velarde.
Velarde.
Could potentially Byfield or Stutzel. Who knows?
I mean, if
and 3 second-round picks.
While we're talking,
Yes.
while we're talking about all these amazing prospects, if that does not get you to try to go out to Ontario for a rain game in the near future,
Dude, I've been saying this since last. Remember? I've
Get
been
on
saying
out
this
to the
since last
IE.
year. Yeah,
Hey, didn't
well,
you have tickets?
Bailey, we need to talk.
Dirt
I don't know what to do with my
cheap
Bailey Buddy
tickets.
voucher.
$2 Bud Nights or $2 Bud Lights on Friday nights.
and
It's terrible beer, but still $2
talk
beer.
about bringing back Trevor Lewis maybe again or Kyle Clifford.
feel like-
American hero. Trevor Lewis?
Trevor Lewis is going to be on the roster for another 10 years.
or bring back Kyle Clifford out free agent. I mean, what are you gonna do?
No.
What are you gonna do? I mean, what are you gonna
No,
do?
we gotta
You
we
need-
gotta bring back my dad,
Also,
Tyler Toffoli.
Stephen Leal coming with the facts. Talking about Grunstrom.
Yeah.
That's one of my boys too. I love the way this guy plays. I feel like he didn't do as well last year, but 2 years ago, he was one of my favorite guys. He's young also.
And
He can play the perfect third line kind of grinding, but still chip in offensively kind of a thing. Like, I'm trying not to get too
Like
excited.
Jake Muzzin died
Just-
for
exactly.
for Carl Grunstrom.
I'm trying not to get too excited early on, but there's definitely reasons to be excited as a Kings fan, just because
Go check out your
So much
minor league
potential.
team in Ontario.
so much potential.
We forgot about a couple other prospects like Dudas and Cole Holtz and defensemen.
Do this.
And yeah, and like you said right now too, that's not counting the Kings have 11 draft picks in this upcoming draft. We've talked about one. We talked about the first overall. But the fact in the second round there's 3, in the third round there's 2. Exactly. The Kings are gonna be scary. The Kings are like loading up. No, this is. I'll give them this.
No,
That's
I
on like
think you're-
Avengers level. They're
How
gonna
long
be
do
a
you want that
monster.
clip going down? That's what I'm saying.
They're gonna be monsters.
It's comedic timing on the soundboard, man.
The Los Angeles Rain. I mean,
Of Ontario.
I'm here for it.
I mean,
I feel like rain games next 2 years are gonna be.
Lit.
next year
Yeah,
should be
amazing.
starting to be good because I think Turcotte's gonna start down there.
I know the IE isn't most of your desired destinations, but Ontario is actually nice. They got a Applebee's.
They got a Hooters.
Rusty.
They got an
They
In-N-Out.
got a Denny's. They got a lot of stuff nearby. It's nice.
Damn it, Bustos.
What?
Gave
Give
Rico
Cole.
the road.
Seriously,
Give me the
go
road.
to check out a game. Check out an Ontario Rain.
Rain games are fun.
Probably did.
They really are.
They're
fun.
hard to get to sometimes, especially if it's traffic.
If you're driving on
On a
10 East
Friday,
on a Friday night,
oh.
yeah, it's gonna be a
Oh no,
lot.
that's brutal. That's
Tommy
brutal.
says Bustos
Not for
should
me.
be-
I take the train out
Bustos
there.
should be the DD.
Long Beach Rain. Oh, dude, that would be
If
the
There
best.
was, yeah, but
That would be the best.
It would have been cool, but
There was a Long
Rain
Beach Rain. Season seats for sure. I feel like I'd be over there
makes you miss the Ice Dogs a lot.
for sure.
Okay, so do you actually think the Kings will actually trade a 3
I feel like they're gonna have to do
That's
something.
a lot of picks and so on.
Because we can only have so many guys on the
Yeah.
on the
Don't you-
roster
yeah.
too,
Don't
right?
you,
Like,
don't you try to trade 2 seconds and like a third, 1 to thirds to get up to a first?
get a defenseman or something.
Go with the
This
first.
is the part where
Or you just draft 3
this is the part where Rob Blake calls up guys like Dean Lombardi and Ned Coletti and
Or
Andrew Friedman,
The
your
Dean
boy,
Lombardi,
I mean,
the
and
Force Ghost.
if I'm
just the
hey,
finesse gods.
I know,
Andrew
I know it's not an ideal situation. I wouldn't be opposed to trading with the Sharks because I know they got a first round pick late in the draft, late in the first round, and I know they
I like Christian's idea of taking the Ottawa Sharks pick.
I know they
The
have
ultimate choice.
I know they have a lot of I know they don't have many picks, but trading a second to get another first round pick is not a bad idea.
But how many seconds would you think equal a first?
2.
Like realistically, 2 seconds is the first.
Yeah.
Is the drop off between a late first and a high second that much though? Because the Kings are gonna have a high second, which is
Yeah.
almost a really late
So here,
first.
if that's the case, you just draft 3 defensemen in the second round, and hopefully 2 of them work.
And there's a lot of defensemen. There's a lot of good players in this draft. They're saying it's a deep draft. So
that's how
It's
you
a very deep
that's
draft
how
this
you
year.
that's how you make sure your defenseman situation is fixed in the future. Just draft 3 defensemen in
Tommy-
the second round.
Dustin
Tommy's
Brown.
asking
Oh, Dustin Brown?
what
no
vet,
one say Dustin Brown.
what vet is gone next year via trade or even released. I'm gonna have to say right off the bat,
Jeff Carter.
Dustin
Dustin
Brown.
Brown, I
Carter.
think.
Dustin-
might
No,
be.
I
Bye,
think
Tommy.
no, I think Dustin's gonna make it to this stretch.
I feel
He
like
has 2
No.
years left on his
yeah,
contract.
I feel
I
like
think-
he's gonna retire King. Either
I
2
think Brown's
years.
gonna be a forever king.
I feel like after these 2 years, they're definitely gonna. I don't know if the Kings will offer him a contract. I feel like he still might want to play.
Yeah.
But in 2 years, you figure of all these young prospects coming up,
Oh, they might pull a
that
Joe
roster
Thornton
spot.
a year.
Brown for Jack Eichel. Just throwing it out there
I
right now.
wouldn't be opposed to Brown.
I saw rumors about the
Like-
Kings second overall
Dustin,
in a package
hey,
for Eichel
Dustin,
too.
you grew up in Ithaca, New York.
I wouldn't be opposed to bringing Brown back year by year as a fourth line winger.
Jack Eichel gets
You need a
the
veteran
spotlight.
in the fourth line.
I feel like he would be only way he's on the roster in like once I'd say 3 years from now, it would be as a fourth liner.
you need a
Fourth
veteran.
liner, you're gonna probably be healthy scratch a lot of these games.
You
You're
need a
here-
fo-
you're
but you
here
need
to
a
make the
veteran like
kids
him.
look good.
If there's too many young guys coming through the system, eventually all these guys are going to get pushed
You're
out
gonna
of
shepherd
spots.
them.
Even Kopitar. I know Kopitar right now isn't anything bad, but think about Kopitar in the next 3
Let me
or 4
ask you,
years.
Can Kobe play the wing?
He'll
the
be
next-
on the decline.
Can Kobe play in the wing the next 3 or 4 years? Because
I
with
don't
all the
think he will.
centerments we have, he might be better off in the wing.
See, another more value that Kopi brings is mentoring. If the Kings end up drafting Byfield,
Yeah.
Kopitar is the
that's what they're-
perfect
You got
mentor.
But that's the problem. We have too
Especially
many
like
centers.
teaching them to play defensively and to back check and to be responsible on both sides of the ice.
It's like I will teach you to be silky smooth.
Silky.
Silky smooth.
Yeah, but that's the
Silky
problem.
smooth.
Though.
What about Quickie?
He's done.
Ooh, that's probably.
Hey,
one of-
Jonathan, how do you feel about Seattle?
Yeah.
That's the
honestly,
Would
thing,
you
too.
like to throw out the
we
first
have,
pitch of
we
the
have to
game?
protect and unprotect players.
It's Carl
coming
Peterson.
up too. Yeah.
It's Carl
Oh,
Peterson.
definitely.
Cal Peterson, yeah.
Cal.
But like, that's a good point. Also, the
Hey,
Kings
Quickie,
are
how do you-
gonna leave
Quick-
exposed guys with big contracts when the Seattle draft comes too.
Okay.
Which of those guys leave exposed?
And entry.
Quickie.
Hey,
entry
Jonathan, how do you feel about
entry-
the Seattle
Entry
Supersonics?
rookies are protected also.
Yeah, the
right?
rookies are
Yeah,
protected
ELCs.
too.
Which is like going to be the majority of the team.
All the entry level contracts are going to be safe, which like you're saying is going
Majority
to
of the
be
team.
a majority of the team. All the veterans. Now we're talking maybe longer contracts they want to get out of.
Like Kopi, Dowdy will be protected.
They'll
Dowdy,
protect.
yeah, they'll
Kobe
protect
and
Dowdy.
Dowdy for sure.
The
I
guys
feel like
who-
Dowdy's
the guys who won't be.
good.
Dewey's like, I got my favorite spots out in Hermosa Beach. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I'm planning.
I mean,
I
I
ain't
could,
going.
I feel like Kobe's safe too, honestly.
I could see a guy like.
Oh, it's good. They're going to protect Kobe and Dowdy for sure. I would even
Do
say
you think
Brownie
Brown?
also.
No, you don't even need it.
That's
You
interesting.
would protect Peterson.
Hey, Brownie, how do you feel about Nirvana?
But
But remember, he's a free agent. Wait, it's next season, right?
Tommy's
the
like, shut
draft.
up, I hate you so much.
It's the draft. The free agent drafts next season.
next
right?
season, I think.
yeah.
So they'll probably protect Iafallo, Kopitar, Dowdy.
That's right,
I'm
Alma.
trying to think
That's
of,
right,
like-
Alma in the comments. Get him!
Probably Matt.
Get Tom.
Probably Matt Roy.
So all these guys are already on their second contracts. I'm not sure. That's what I'm not.
Yeah, Matt Roy I think is restricted by the time. So you gotta
If we can
protect him.
somehow finesse a team into taking Joachim Ryan,
Joachim Ryan's a free agent.
We'll just tape Muzzin on the back of his jersey. Like, no, that's
Muzzin.
Jake Muzzin. That's
but
it.
I thought he was in Toronto. You thought so.
No,
He's
no,
been
no.
here this whole time.
But you remember?
Common misconception.
You remember when Vegas was drafting? We all thought, oh, they'll take Dustin Brown.
Yeah, like.
And then we
they
gave
were-
him Braid McNabb.
Yeah. They take
Which,
Brady
yeah,
McNabb.
and he's done all right for
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
He's actually done all
You
right.
know what? Screw Braid McNabb.
Actually, McNabb's a friend of the podcast.
Hey.
One of the few Kings
Hey.
who early on followed
He's not one of
hooligan,
my. He's not one of my friends of the podcast.
followed hooligan
Hey,
hockey
the-
He
early
doesn't
on.
even know how to autograph
Hey,
jerseys.
the first
No.
Vegas Golden Knight player to wear the jersey. You remember? You were at Dodger Stadium. We were watching the live draft, and we was like, "Oh, McNabb's there actually
Oh,
in the
I forgot about that.
in the arena.
Well, in my book, Ray McNabb is an enemy of the podcast.
Christian.
But yeah, I mean, like we're saying, definitely a fun time to be a fan right now. What's crazy though is the draft isn't going to be for like another 4 months or something. They're saying so we're gonna have 4 months of Quentin Byfield, Tim Stutz,
Yeah.
like.
And they totally pick someone else.
Yeah, exactly. They're
Byfield.
gonna
Go
go.
Drysdale.
Don't screw this up.
They trade
Quentin
the
Byfield.
pick.
That's what so I read a rumor that supposedly Jack Eichel, a package deal around Jack Eichel for the second
With Brownie, right?
second overall pick. I'm just like, ooh, that would.
It's like, hey, Eichel, look, you're probably not going to make the playoffs here, but at least you're not in Buffalo. There's
I
stuff
wonder.
to do
I
here
wonder
in
where the
Los
value
Angeles.
is though, because the second overall pick is really valuable.
Does the Kings go for a win now too?
Like, hey, Eichel, how do you
They'd
feel?
use
You ever
Eichel.
heard of this guy named
No,
LeBron
you
James?
could trade your first round, second round picks and go win now because you have so much depth already.
No, I
But
don't
just
want
the
to
only
win
thing
now.
is, yeah, these guys aren't proven. These guys need to get that experience.
I don't want to win now. I want people to suffer when we win.
What do you? No, I'm saying we can win.
You know how we hate Pittsburgh and these
Yeah,
other
you just
teams
need to
that
be
are like
dominant for
consistently
like a
good for years?
decade.
I want that.
But the problem is you don't have enough. You wouldn't have enough players to
People
play,
hate people don't like us, but I want them to get. I want
to
them to
pay
have
all
a
these
reason.
players if they become that good. You won't have that dominant decade long.
Josh, I want that dominant decade. I want that.
Tommy says Austin Matthews, but he's got the Ronas, so he's not considered right now.
And the stash.
I would trade a number 2 pick for Austin Matthews.
Man, it's so interesting though because like
No, I don't want Toronto
Stutzel's
having nice
on that
things.
level.
Austin Matthews is like on DJ's top
Toronto
Of
not
bromance.
winning the cup
I
is the
would-
gift that keeps
bromance.
giving
I would
every
do
year
a
in
lot.
hockey.
Hey, actually,
Matthews is the only
Among
jersey I
others.
own of somebody not on the
I would do a
Kings.
lot. I would do a lot of things to trade for the right price to get rid of that second pick.
Would you though?
Austin Matthews.
But I feel like if we were more in a win now mode, I could see it. But
We
I
could-
feel like don't
we-
rush the process.
we
Like
could
we're
be-
still a year or two, and like
we could be in a-
Christian's saying, like in 2 years, if you plan it right, the Kings should be dominant.
we could still
For
play.
a
should
long
be.
time,
Wait.
and I want to enjoy it.
We could still.
I want to have a glorious reign of terror on other people I know in the hockey
You
community.
could still plan it right and still trade that pick and still have a top 5.
No, but I want to
prospect.
do it the right way. I want to savor this. Let me have this,
The
Josh.
Kings didn't do that to win their 2 cups.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
there
if
was
we
a
do it the
mix
right
of
way
it.
right now, we can have more.
Because you're also
A lot.
and you're also factoring during that time cap space opening up, and yeah, you're gonna have to sign a lot of these guys. But before that, you can sign some. While these guys are in bridge deals, you
Yeah.
can sign potentially a free agent superstar to come over.
Who did put the Kings over the top in 2012, 2014?
And who did they trade? Is it like?
They traded their young guys.
Yeah,
together.
exactly. Shen, Simmons, Jack Johnson, all those guys left that year and brought us pieces that ultimately won us
Yeah.
the cup.
You know who else left one of those years? Los Angeles Kings legend Matt Fratton.
Wow.
I don't know. It's a
Rest in peace, Matt.
Hey, it's a
His
it's a,
hockey career died for the
hey,
second cup.
it's a torn. You're like, which way do you want to do it? Do you want to win now, or you want to go do it in a couple years and have a?
I'm okay with not winning now. I want the end game.
Kingface Painter makes a good point as far as and maybe we could all be back in the stadium by 2 years. I'd rather celebrate victories in person. If it were via TV, let's let them build slow.
Yeah.
Also true though.
True that.
Yeah,
That's
I
also-
like that comment. Yeah, baby, yeah.
But honestly, that
That's
goes
what I'm talking about right there.
that goes back into the Dodger.
And then you can always trade picks.
No, the
whatever.
Dodger talk as far as the Dodgers are supposed to compete this year, and we might not be allowed to look at the Dodgers win.
I'll take it. I'll take
I
what I
like
can get. All right.
I like Dave Roberts' idea of having a drive-in.
Oh, yeah?
Drive-in.
You know who
watch
would?
party.
You know who'd be against having a drive-in
Who?
for fans? Don Mattingly. That too.
Why?
So I
Because-
ran into someone over the weekend that works for AEG, and he mentioned some plans.
Is this inside sources right
Is
here?
inside. I met him at the Jollibee in Carson while I was picking up my fridge. he knows my tattoo
Is
on
he
my leg.
Filipino?
Shout out to Jollibee.
He was like, "Hey, is that Bailey on your leg?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I work for AEG." I was like, "Oh, what's up, dude?" And he's
You're
like,
like, brother.
"Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "So what's the plan for them to bring people back?" So there's a couple things that they're tossing around. It's not official. And again, this is just coming from, I guess, an inside source. He said for the lower bowls, one of the things that they're planning is like a family seating area, to where you have 6 people, and then a break, and then 6 people. And it's like every other row or something like that.
So like 6
staggered.
members of a family would
Yeah.
sit, and then there'd be a gap between
Gap,
the
and
next
then
family.
even the gap, the row behind you. So
Oh.
they don't sit directly behind you. They'll sit like to the side of you.
So
But
it's
a
spaced
packed
out
row.
on both sides, yeah.
And single seats, they're gonna put in the 300s. If you're only buying a single seat.
Oh
you're
man, I
gonna-
cannot wait to get
and
the
it's
Sting
gonna-
gift.
And that's gonna be again social distance also. And there's also talks about putting
I'm
pods over the
Back
seats.
with the
Pods?
pods.
Like plastic pods, clear pods.
Like the soccer mom.
I get.
On
He
the
said these are
sideline?
things that are being thrown around. So, but it was interesting that
They're gonna be
obviously-
Single seating up in the 300s. Oh man, I'm okay with being up there with the pods.
yeah, but I
That's
mean,
interesting.
these are a lot of things. Obviously, AEG or I don't know if it's just AEG or other arenas are talking about, but obviously, yeah, they want fans back in there, especially when you have someone like AEG where you have the Clippers and the Lakers in the playoffs. They want fans there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
So-
that's so much money, especially like, the AHL teams and those guys who a lot of their money, revolves around the at door, like everything they make on the day of the games, be it concessions, tickets, merch, all that kind of stuff. Like that's vital to those franchises, and it'd be hard for them. I feel like to have an AHL season without allowing fans.
Yeah.
Well, to be
a lot
fair,
of the
no
minor
one goes
leagues-
to games in Anaheim, so.
Wow. See, there you used the soundboard right. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
That was well timed at that time. So you're learning. It only.
Tommy
how
asked
how
a
far are we
question.
in here? What
30
Tommy
minutes
say?
in. 30 minutes in.
I know that's why I said how long it.
Tommy says, "Okay, question. We have to pick one player that we absolutely hate that we wouldn't mind in a Kings jersey."
Tommy says the rat. Who's he talking about? Marshawn? Who's the rat?
Brad Marchand is
I think he's the rat, right? I don't know.
that we
built like a
hate
rat.
That I
as a
hate.
team, from a team or
Sidney
a
Crosby.
player.
Crosby. Ooh, that's a good one.
Don't get DJ started with Sidney Crosby.
Like, end this show.
Enemy of the podcast for
But
sure.
DJ would love
I got
to
a
have Sidney
few
Crosby on it.
actually.
That's a good question.
Patrick Kane,
Ooh, yeah.
Kaner would be good.
And I don't even like hate Kane.
No, I
Like,
don't hate
even
Kane
like
either.
hate
I hate
him.
Patrick Kane.
Yeah,
I don't like hate him. I hate like Perry. I hate like
Oh.
Kachuk. I hate like those more pesty players like Marshawn. I hate that guy.
what's his name? Hurdle. Hurdle would be good from San Jose.
No,
Who's like
Speed.
who's on the Knights? Who do you hate? Neil? I know he's not
Jonathan
anymore.
Marchessault.
No,
Marchessault.
Jonathan Marchessault. I don't like
Carlson.
him. There's been no secret that I have an issue with Jonathan Marchessault.
I
There's
think that,
photographic and video proof
I
of me.
think
okay,
Ma-
Reed from Vegas. Oh, I hated that guy even. Oh, but man, he had nailed
Reeves?
it. Reeves.
yeah, and like
Matt Reeves.
I hated him in St. Louis, man.
I don't know if I'd hate him though because I feel like he'd just be so entertaining.
Oh,
to
David
easily
Perron.
get past. Perron.
David Perron has been quite a pain in the ass for a few years.
Honestly, like I think my
I'm
answer would be.
surprised Boosters didn't say Corey Perry.
So
Well,
if
Corey Perry's
I was gonna
washed
say
up now.
that, exactly. I was gonna say if we're talking
Maybe a couple
like
years, a few
5,
years ago,
yeah, 5,
yeah. I would've-
10
yeah,
years
if
ago,
he could-
Perry
Yeah, if it was 5
easily.
years ago, it would be Perry or who's the Kings? Who's the-
Shane Doan,
No, yeah, Shane Doan. Who's the other one from the Ducks? Can't think of it. Getzlaff.
Getzlaff,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gets bald.
Honestly,
Hampus Lindholm?
it's probably Matthew Kachuk right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
it
that'd
has
be
to
good.
be because I hate him. He's still young and he's still good.
Yeah, that locker room would be interesting with him and Dewey.
I don't even know what
They
happened.
should just like they should have like a HBO like behind
Hard
the scenes-
Knocks.
Hard Knocks between Kachuk and Dowdy.
That'd actually be hilarious.
They should be roommates for a couple of.
Kachuk-
Yeah, Carlson.
Kachuk
I
and
like
Dewey
Carlson
the first
too,
time
but I
in
don't
the
hate
trade.
him. So
See,
I
that's
didn't
weird
Carlson.
because there's certain players I dislike them because they
they're on the
torture us,
team.
but I don't hate.
I don't
them
hate
necessarily.
Carlson. We're
Kachuk-
talking about players that we
Kachuk,
hate.
I hate that guy. Matthew Kachuk, I hate
Okay.
that guy.
I think that's good for a hockey talk. That's a good 30 minutes.
I feel like we covered the most important thing, which was the draft.
Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys next week.
So on that note, I'm gonna head out.
I
And
mean,
thank you for our sponsors.
baseball. We got some.
Actually, let's do our sponsors earlier.
That's a good idea. During the middle of the show.
I feel like we have always waiting for. Do
Rock
we have new
bottom.
sponsors music? Did Christian just start a new segment with our own
Yeah.
sponsor music?
Yeah.
Let's give our first sponsor
Hey, look
shout
at
out
that.
right here. Rose Cremations located in Bellflower.
Call them today.
Call them today. Look at 562-804-0404.
Did you just put the number?
Yeah.
We've always had that. And
Oh,
I was like, I don't think you guys, because when we were on Zoom, you guys just saw the other end of the Zoom call. You didn't see like the
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
broadcast feed. And I was telling him earlier, I was like, look at this was our. We're even in the background. Look at that's fancy.
Yeah, use a number.
But yeah, Rose Cremation
I don't want to
Service
say it.
in Bellflower.
And as always, think about tomorrow. Today.
There we go. Got it out of the way. That was
I'm
an
gonna
easy
make
one.
a bad joke.
How about our other main?
Actually, there's a rumor going around that if you use the word podcast on hooligansports.net,
What?
that you receive 10% off your next order. So yes, our next sponsor is us, ourselves. If you haven't checked out the website, check
Oh
it
my
out.
God, that S&D shirt.
Look at all this cool
Hey,
stuff.
Not gonna lie, that head show in Los Angeles one.
Rob asked if we
Decent.
can save him a LeBron shirt. He's a
Oh, yeah.
huge LeBron fan.
I got
You
you.
know who
Rod.
else is a huge
He
LeBron
hates
fan?
LeBron.
Tommy.
We'll get them both matching LeBron.
We just need
shirts.
to make
Absolutely.
every shirt purple and gold for Tommy. I don't care if it's a Dodgers shirt.
Even the King designs. They're like, no,
Yeah.
dude, it's a throwback.
How about? And we're trying to figure out add new stuff in the future.
Yeah, and in the next weeks,
A
once
Lakers-themed Rams jersey with Johnny Hecker on the back.
he would be so conflicted. In the next,
No, he wouldn't.
Tommy, I already know you're in the
Already?
comments right now. Just what do you?
we
Would
got,
you?
we got
Would
some
you?
new designs coming out at the end of the month. Obviously, when things start kicking off again, we got some new fun stuff. So, was that a firework?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that sounded like a bomb.
Well, this 4th of July, when we all get stayed at home, fireworks gonna be launched like crazy.
Oh, they're being launched right
Yeah,
now.
Stephen Leo asking for the big Knicks.
Yes. Shout out to Big Nick's out of
Shout out
San
to Big
Diego.
We don't have their
Thank you,
graphic
John
yet.
Dukakis, for hooking up the South Bay and the harbor area with delicious pizzas. But yeah, we'll have them on the show.
And we'll have that graphic up on the next. Or if you want to sponsor the show, we'll make you a graphic. Even if you're not a business and you just want to sponsor, we'll put a picture of you. We'll-
Tom's rhinoplasty from
yeah,
South Park.
anything. Like if you're just a group of guys and just want your picture up here for like 20, 30 seconds or whatever, we'll make it happen.
We should put our gamer tags up here too, so if they want to add
Instead
us.
of these ones
Yeah, we can add them like on the bottom and
Under
just
the
make,
Instagram.
make a list.
under the Instagram. I mean, we
See?
can-
Busto still has extra S's on his name. It's Bustos.
I know that's for good luck now. I feel like we can't change it now. We're in too deep. You guys,
That's what she said.
lawyer season.
Coming up.
I'll allow it.
They
Three-
report the camp.
Oh,
3 weeks?
yeah,
They
buddy.
report the camp in 3 days.
3 days.
Or 2 days. Today's the 30th. Is it 30th?
2 days? Yeah.
Tomorrow's
No, it's the
the
29th, yeah.
So first day you report is July 1st. Supposed to July 1st.
So Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Is there 31st?
Wednesday or
Wednesday
Thursday?
is the first.
Wednesday or
Tomorrow's the
Thursday.
So
30th.
Wednesday, and they're
40
calling it
hours.
baseball camp, or what are they calling it? Summer camp?
Summer camp.
See, spring training 2, summer camp.
So summer camp starts on Wednesday. Baseball's officially back. It's time to get excited again. It's only going to be the 60-game season, but still.
Dodgers added
It's a
couple,
game.
couple other
It's a
minor
game.
leaguers to the availability roster.
Which is cool that they have that option. Also, a lot of people were posting the Dodgers stretch through the first 60 games like over the last couple seasons. And there's some crazy numbers. You remember the first 60 games last season, Cody Bellinger was hitting at another level. He was just
Yep.
out of this world. If we can get that first 60 out of Cody this year, there might not be stopping the Dodgers between Mookie. I mean, I don't know how this little break's going to affect guys and players and stuff like that, but I feel like the Dodgers have some hot starts. There's always some guy coming out of spring training normally on a normal schedule who just is like killing it into April and May, which in this situation would, line us up into the playoffs. So
Right.
I'm cautiously optimistic about that. Like, I feel like there's potential to see some fun. Also, Bustos shared a rumor with us today.
Well, there's 2 rumors. First of all, the Nationals are supposed to play the Yankees on opening day.
Opening
Word?
day was supposed to be Nationals, Yankees, defending World Series champion Nationals.
And
And the Houston Astros versus the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yes.
Which is insane.
oh,
If there was, like, I know everybody pretty
You
much
wanna
agrees
bring
that
baseball
the.
back.
Yeah.
That's how you start the
I
season.
know we all agree that the coronavirus has literally been the worst thing probably in our lifetimes, affecting just our day-to-day lives and all this other stuff. But one positive spin is opening day against the Astros. If this were to happen, first of all, the hype, the ratings, I feel like would be in.
Bustos, say something. Say something.
Tommy says we can't hear you, Bustos.
I just turned off my mic by accident somehow.
Oh.
That instantly spikes up the ratings.
Oh, he says you're just too far away from me, and I'm talking into
Probably.
it.
I'm actually quiet for once.
But if the MLB grants us with the Astros versus Dodgers for opening weekend, opening
Someone's getting
series,
beaned.
who's the first player to get beaned? Is the leadoff guy, first pitcher, first batter? I feel like that'd be just like.
Question is who's the one that's going to be issuing at the beginning.
You know what I feel like? You remember after?
Bueller.
See, you're getting
Bueller.
it. You're figuring it out. I
That's
feel
my
like
pick.
you remember after 9/11 when Piazza hit that home run and it like defined the return.
Wait, who?
Piazza.
Mike Piazza,
For the
Who's that?
Mets.
Who's that?
The guy that retired is a Met.
Mets legend Mike
Mets
Piazza.
legend.
Florida Marlins.
I've never heard of her.
All-star catcher.
Florida Marlins legend Mike Piazza.
Wow,
I'm sorry.
Never heard- I never-
disrespecting the Dodgers' best all-time.
I'm gonna tell Tommy
catcher.
Lasorda you said that.
Yeah.
Uncle
And?
Tommy,
So
not this Tommy.
Uncle Tommy can get the
Tommy
smoke.
said he would throw into
Uncle
the
Tommy
dugout.
can get the smoke.
Tommy, what-
Wow.
Bustos,
Wait,
what are you doing?
Bustos,
Bustos.
what's going on here?
What is going on?
Oh my.
I think we figured out why we can't
You
hear
need a
Bustos.
drug
Look at this
test.
guy. Ripping
What
up
are you doing, Pete?
You
cords.
just broke the whole.
I'm sorry, everybody who's hearing that static right now. Bustos is having an issue during
Push,
our
pu-
broadcast.
push that button right now.
Actually,
Push that button right now. Damn it, Bustos.
all right, guys. Sorry about that.
Hey,
There we go.
hey, we do have a new sound man. He's hired. Sound engineer's hired.
We're back. All right. So, what were we talking about? Okay, opening day.
Oh, how Mike
Dodgers
Piazza's
Astros.
been dead for 22 years?
Okay, most famous moment. One of the most famous moments in baseball history was him hitting that home run right after 9/11 in New York. High emotions.
Some catcher.
I feel like our Corona moment is going to be Jose Altuve getting beamed by Walker Buehler or Clayton Kershaw even opening day.
Oh, Clayton Kershaw, everything will be forgiven. He beats him.
I mean, just like who leads off? Bregman? Who's lead off?
Altuve.
Altuve?
I thought
Oh,
Altuve
Springer.
was usually
Springer.
Well, who would you rather be? Corey Springer, Altuve, or
All of
about
us.
Altuve?
Corey Springer.
I mean,
Let's load up the bases off
That's
the
Jerry
bat.
Springer's brother.
Right.
Let's load up the bases.
Yeah, I'm with you. Three
load 'em
straight,
up.
three straight
Let's
beams.
load them up.
so do we?
They might get a couple. They might get a bases clearing
It'll be
double.
worth it.
I don't care.
We'll take that first loss of the season if we could just like hit 1 through 9, hit all of them.
Petty. We'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take
Oh,
the.
no.
Yeah, we'll.
About to go on a 59 game.
I don't know. I don't think that. I don't
It'll-
think,
it'll be
I don't think
remembered
the-
in history.
I don't think the baseball gods are gonna be that nice to
Dodgers
us and then
are
get
fine.
us Dodgers Astros game 1.
You don't think that would happen?
No.
I feel like if they're really in it for the
I
ratings
mean, if
and the
MLS
money,
can have a blind tournament selection
Yeah.
for
that
their
corruptness-
return, where you have Portland, Seattle, and LAFC
in the same,
in the same
Division,
pool as
yeah.
the Galaxy, I mean, anything can happen. You know, it's
they did that on
what a
purpose.
coincidence that the Dodgers happen to open up the season against the Houston Astros.
I mean, I'm here for it.
I mean,
I'm here for it.
I'm down for it.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for that chaos.
So,
You need to join us on that one. You need to join us on that chaos, Josh. Stick
so
with your mind.
how, as far as like exhibition games, normally spring training's filled with exhibition games. Are they just practicing?
So I think
Be inter squad games.
I think the inter squad games, but you can also see an Angel versus Dodgers exhibition games.
Maybe.
How?
They're so close to each other; they're allowed to do it.
Are they? Is there any plans or is
There's
it
no
just like
plans.
I mean,
potentially?
the teams both play in Los Angeles.
Yeah. You
Oh,
can do-
okay, okay.
you can
Los
do-
Angeles of
Or you
Anaheim.
can do a San Diego Dodger preseason, or because they're so close.
And so something interesting to note as far as this new season, they are going to be doing universal DH.
Yep.
So there's going to be a designated hitter for the Dodgers this year. Crazy because we have so much offense.
But who becomes the DH? Who's the DH?
Jock Peterson, AJ Pollock switching back and forth.
These are Jock's the DH.
I feel like Jock's the DH. I don't know. It sucks. There's no Verdugo right now, obviously, but he would have been. I feel
would've
like
You
been a
also
good
got
DH.
Matt Beatty, the DH too.
so. That's gonna be fun, just because we have the weapons. We're built almost like an American League team.
For a
with-
DH, yeah.
Yeah,
We're
like
built
for a
for it.
DH, like we have so
But we
much
can
power.
play small ball
We
too.
can- we can play both, yeah.
I was listening to Ross Stripling's podcast a little bit when Kershaw was on it.
Ropes.
Mm-hmm.
He said that Kershaw has jokingly made an agreement with every time he plays, he's going to be the designated hitter.
I swear to God,
Down
if
for
Kershaw
that.
ruins the Dodgers missed the playoffs by 2 games in which
Because he wants
Kershaw
to be
went 0 for 4.
Want to
the
hit?
You don't want
designated
to hit. Kershaw's coming up with the bases loaded, and no, he's insisting on hitting, even though we have a DH and we can put Jock Peterson.
And
Do it
he's not
myself.
bunting. And he is not bunting, folks.
He is not. He's swinging away.
He's in it to
Swinging
win it.
away
3-0. He's swinging away.
for the fences.
Right.
So,
Team player.
what are the coronavirus rules for baseball? I've heard a few of them where players have to wear masks in the dugout,
You have to be separated.
as
some
well as the
distance.
batter,
No
catcher, and ump.
spitting, no
no sunflower
Well, you get,
seeds
so you
now.
get tossed if you spit or what?
Yeah,
So
What's
you
gonna
can't
happen?
I don't know.
What's the punishment?
Fines probably.
Like
But the
later on?
outfielders don't have to wear masks.
Yeah.
I think.
Also something very interesting. I feel like they're just going, the crazy route on again. Extra innings are all going to start with a runner on second.
yeah.
Crazy.
I'm not opposed to that right now.
I mean, I could see why they're trying to do it to speed it up.
It was fun during the World Baseball Classic during that one game.
We are in a war zone out here. I just want people to know.
Fireworks
There's
are
just
going off
fireworks
outside.
Out
It
here
is
wilding
right.
in Bellflower.
That's what I'm wearing my 4th of July stuff. I'm ready.
ready to go. That's not static from our mics this
Yeah,
time. That's
hey,
actual.
the
could
one of
be
the
gunshots.
OG shirts we had back in the day, right, DJ? The OG shirts.
Oh yeah, those are our World Cup of hockey shirts, Hooligan hockey. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be interesting. All these things aren't supposed to stick into next season, though, right? Like,
No.
is it just
No,
for this
Maybe
year?
if it works out, great.
If people end up loving it and they're like, "Oh my God, DH in the NL is amazing. Let's keep
Right.
it forever," I'm sure Manfred
But
is gonna do
you
it.
know,
question
if,
is,
if the DH is permanent in the NL, you're going to miss out on amazing moments like Bartolo Colon hitting his first career home run.
Or Ryu hitting a home run.
Exactly.
But here's the main issue, though. About
Tommy, look at Tommy making a really good point. Will that be a earned run if they score? How do you score it?
what?
That's a good question.
When they
Tommy-
start a runner on second,
They might-
that
they
run's
might-
not charged to the pitcher,
I
right?
don't know about
They
that.
they might make a
Tommy,
new
what is in
category
that Stone
for it.
IPA you're
Also.
drinking right now?
That's a good question.
They might
Tommy.
make a new category for it.
But here's the thing.
Kind of like how you have empty net goals.
Your mic real quick. Is it what yours? All right,
There we go.
there you
But here's the main problem. And the
Technical
issue
difficulties.
throughout this whole situation we have to deal with any sports restarting. How is this coronavirus spike going to affect the season?
Interesting. We missed a comment from Alma. I feel like it's adjusting what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Buster only says 0% chance the MLB season finishes and 5% chance it even starts.
Well, I heard an interesting situation
Yeah,
about
because
the
people
corona-
don't know how to act.
Well,
People don't know how to wear
I
their
know that,
masks,
but I
so
heard
they
an
might
interesting
know.
coronavirus talk. I mean, this is way out there, but it does make an interesting point.
Setting an example here.
That 20% population of the population being who had affected
Uh huh.
is about close to herd we'll be getting. That will slow down the rate.
So wait, what?
20% of the population
Have it or
Yeah.
had it?
had it or have it.
So what does the number have to be, or what is? I don't know.
So like California needs to have LA has 30 million people,
Uh huh.
so we have to be like
20% of the 30 million
so it
has
has to be
to.
like 10 million would have to have some sort of antibodies or stuff for the cases to drop.
For there to be a drop.
significant drop.
Man,
Because if you
we're
think
not
of,
gonna get
because
baseball forever.
well, not true. Because the rumor is 10 times whatever the cases they are now, times it by 10.
That's what it has to be
Well,
before it
that's
drops.
where we are now.
What? So it has to be 10 times
No,
worse than it is
no.
right now?
What are we at? 300,000 or
We're
something?
at 300,000 times it by 10. We're at
3 million.
3 million. Like
Wow.
New York, if you times New York,
So, anyways,
so no, I'm saying if you times New
I
York
wasn't
cases,
ready to do math
no,
today.
I know. If you times New York's cases,
Uh-huh.
they're at 20% by 10, which there's the ideal was the situation they think people
You're saying at 20% is when the curve starts to lower. It starts to bend?
when it's really flat, like New York now. Because New York, if you times it by 10,
Are you saying because they had
they
it
have
all
20%.
early?
Yeah, they have 20% already. They're at 20%.
Are you going back to your whole argument last week of purposely getting the Ronas?
No.
yes.
I swear to God, Boosters, if you give us,
I'm socking you right now.
you're gonna
Why
get.
the fuck you lying?
Oh.
Why you always lying?
Okay, see you guys.
All right, guys.
Waiting for that one.
Basketball.
Basketball.
Lakers in 5.
The lake show.
Why
Tommy-
is the
Tommy-
Lakers-
Tommy's
Tell me
favorite
what you think,
team.
Why are we
Tommy.
bringing J.R. Smith? Because we're desperate. Because Avery Bradley decides to, I'm not showing up in Orlando.
So it's close. They're saying it's not official yet, but yeah, J.R. Smith, part of the
Be a
lake
Laker.
show.
Wearing number 5. It's a
be a
sign right
Laker.
there. Lakers in 5.
I don't know if you guys saw all the memes today. It's like
Lakers in 5.
J.R. Smith showing up at Staples Center ready for the first game, and it was the Will Smith in the empty room because they're all in Orlando. Tommy saying
Where the Henny at?
Bucks
Hey,
and 4.
J.R. Smith in that play in the finals. God dang it.
Hashtag anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
I don't know. I mean, it's the right call for J.R. Smith, but it's like, what else you gonna do?
What happened with DeMarcus Cousins? What was?
DeMarcus.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was in the Lakers, and like now he's just
He's a
not
free
even-
He's
agent.
not. He's a free agent. So I thought once a spot opened, he was going to sign. But then it came out saying that he was going to wait till next season.
Yeah, he's.
I thought he signed with the Lakers.
No,
He was
a free
going.
agent.
He did sign, and then they released him
And he's a free agent.
because he was still not healthy, and they needed the spot. But supposedly he was still practicing and with the team. Like they were going to sign him once a roster spot reopened, and then a spot did open, and he announced that
Yeah, he did.
he wasn't going to be
Unless
playing.
Dwight Howard's not coming back, I don't see Cousins re-signing with the.
So, I mean, I feel like all these guys got a real shot at a ring. I
There's a
wouldn't
lot-
see what
Los,
There's a
Angeles,
lot of it.
Los Angeles
Right now-
Lakers legend DeMarcus Cousins.
I know the next 2 days,
Boogeyman.
the next 2 or 3 days, a lot of players in both basketball and baseball will decide not to show up to their training
Yeah.
camps. Like I know in baseball, today,
Mike
Ryan,
Leake.
Mike Leake.
Ryan Zimmerman,
Oh yeah,
and
Ryan
Desmond
Zimmerman.
just reported right now
They're not going to be
they're
reporting.
not going to play. And then basketball, there's
What
a
is?
couple.
I know I say this I think every episode, but what a strange time we're like witnessing. Like we're literally witnessing history right now. It's just weird that there's gonna be like so many professional athletes are like gonna refuse to play because of fear of the virus. Like, what a weird time. Nobody could have predicted where we're at right now a year ago. Like nobody would have seen this coming. And honestly, the one that still gets me the most in the big picture is like how long Disneyland's been closed. Disney's been closed since March. Like,
Oh God.
Like,
That's
they-
amazing.
They
It
rarely
is a
close.
creepy sight to see.
like Vegas is reopened. Like Vegas was closed for a while.
But
That
the
was
fact that
creepy.
they closed too was
Yeah,
weird.
and the time that they were closed, it was very weird because like
It
you're not
was-
used to it. But
not only that, but churches closed.
yeah,
So
it's
casinos
just
and churches closed.
everything. It's just
And-
it's
and-
weird.
And when the devil and God agree on something, it's gotta be bad,
You're in
man.
trouble. I just still not used to it. How many
They
months
look at each
into it
other
are
like,
we?
who
4 or 5.
was this? You that started this?
I hope. I'm just hope.
This
was
pointing
me.
Spider-Man
Hey,
meme.
I know everyone wants to enjoy 4th of July, but I hope we don't have to be back in quarantine episodes the next when we come back.
Also
Well,
true.
all the beaches are closed now.
Yeah, a lot of
officially.
beaches. are
Maybe
closed.
we can get those solo bubble things and just be here in person and just have the
Just
little
have be bubbled up.
in bubbles. It might mess up with that green screen, but it'd be worth a shot.
Right.
Is my bubble transparent? I swear I'm in a bubble, even though it's see-through, you can't see it.
Oh my God.
Speaking of the
Maybe,
green
maybe
screen.
that's what we got to bring to sporting events now and concerts. Those
No,
big suits.
that's one of the things
Yeah, I know.
AEG's proposing is a little bubble. shield
Honestly,
over you.
It's if that means we get to go to a game.
You can't just jump up like, oh, I hit my head.
My bubble's all foggy because it's cold in the arena. Like,
How about when it's like 100 degrees and you're at Dodger Stadium for? How if you're at Dodger Stadium for 100 degrees in that suit?
yeah,
And the sun,
that would be impossible. You think about sitting in the pavilion in the
and,
sun,
or you're sitting in the right field,
my-
anyone right field.
in
the
my
sun
sweaty
is-
bubble.
Because the sun hits you all the way to like 8 o'clock. or
Yeah, it's
something
like
on
collecting
that.
sweat in the bottom. Like, what's good?
No, we're going to the hideaway spot.
That's true. It's just gonna be like the movie Bubble Boy.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal. You guys remember that movie?
Yeah. It's a classic.
Classic movie.
Wildfire.
Poon. cha.
So yeah, Lakers in 5, Tommy.
Punani.
Lakers in 3.
We're bringing it home, Tommy.
Can we make a Lakers
Run
in 3
from
shirt?
it. Dread it.
It still arrives.
I mean,
I am inevitable.
we almost can make any cut.
See, we have
Hey,
Avengers music and you don't even hit the I am inevitable.
Well, no, I mean it's
The
not.
Thanos,
I mean,
but
hey,
still, I mean,
I think we can almost make any shirt we want.
Lakers in
shirt.
3
Yeah.
for Tommy.
Lakers in 2.
Tommy, I'm still trying to push for that bet. Lakers win the championship.
Lakers win the title. You're wearing some Laker gear.
You're wearing Laker gear. If they lose,
But if they lose, I'll wear the Shanghai Rams jersey.
anything other than them winning the championship, Christian is wearing Shanghai Rams.
I will put on that godforsaken jersey.
And Tommy, the problem is you have nothing to lose. We have a picture of you in Laker jersey
It's
gear
true.
already.
And we get Lil Zach
Hey.
a Laker shirt.
Because you were forced
The
as
Charger
you were
Laker.
forced as a kid to wear those.
Yeah.
You're now forced to wear it again.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's fair, honestly.
Come on, Tommy.
Well, let's just make it happen.
Come on,
Don't
Tommy.
even ask him.
Come
We're,
on,
we're
Tommy.
just gonna make it happen.
It's good for the
Come
show.
on, Tommy. Let's live dangerously.
Let
Come
us
on.
promote
we,
it.
should, we should take a poll with our users and our viewers and
For the
ask,
rest
should
of the
Tommy
viewers in
take
the
this bet?
comments right now, do you think that Tommy should take part in this bet? I'm taking one as somebody who is noted as despising the Rams. Where if the Lakers do
big
not
Ram
win the NBA title, I'll put on that insult to fake jerseys everywhere, that Shanghai Rams jersey. I'll put it on if the Lakers do not win the NBA title.
Hey, Becky had a good idea. We could all buy T-Rex costumes as our instead of
Ooh.
bones.
Sold.
Also,
Would you like
my idea is coming true.
Yes.
I had this idea a couple months ago of making giant printouts of
Yeah.
everybody and putting that in your seat. Like
We should sue.
Season two, I feel like
We should
I've
sue.
got to find the episode in which I said this, but I said season ticket holders or fans should be able to buy a cutout of themselves and place it in the seat and make
So
the.
DJ, what are we
crap.
going to put in our seats? What's
I'm for sure getting a Hooli.
I know the
I'm
San
just
Francisco
kidding.
Giants are doing that right.
Yeah,
They're planning on doing
because
that. And,
other-
like, it's free to season ticket holders.
Yeah.
European
Because
soccer
the
did that.
Euro Soccer Club started doing it.
Yeah.
I,
Fix the seat.
I would get Tommy in a Dodger jersey and a Laker hat as my cutout.
Yeah, I just start photoshopping
I'm
your
sold for
friends.
that. I'm
I have
in
4
for that.
seats, so
Hey, there you go.
I
could
want to be
always-
one of the cardboard.
There you go.
I could always put one of those seats you have
As
Tommy.
Tommy?
Yeah.
I'm glad he's not here to defend
I
us.
know. That's actually might be fun if we just put Tommy in Lakers gear as one of the
Or four
and then Christian in
versions
the
of Tommy.
Christian in the Rams gear right next to them. That might be
Or all the
perfect.
different jerseys. Like he has a white one, a purple one, a gold
It
one.
would be
Well,
the
it's
ultimate
your
bizarre world of cardboard cutouts.
Can you imagine just like Max Muncy hitting a home run and then going and hitting your cutout of you in a Rams jersey?
Remember
And
that?
it's 4 Tommies out there with Laker jerseys and a Dodger.
Tommy in the comments is like, Christian loves the Rams. I'm like, yeah, I do. I like I have nothing against the Colorado State Rams.
Oh wow, my favorite
But,
team. My favorite college team.
But it's kind of funny. We should think of if the Dodgers do that. We gotta think of ideas of like.
Funny ones.
Yeah. I know your dad and you will want your own. I would want my.
Yeah,
too.
but I'm gonna be.
But
It's
Promoting some
gonna be
hooligan gear.
it's gonna be exactly you like with the Chris Taylor home run ball from like 3 years ago. I
but
got it.
the question is, I have
good.
3. I have 3 seats with my mom, my dad, and me.
Actually, Alma's asking you for one of those. She said, "I better get one, Bustos, with the
We can
breathing
have
emoji."
a nice little bidding war around here.
So
If you buy
Bustos-
4 shirts, your name gets put in a raffle.
Bustos is using this in his
Alma,
Bachelor
honey, how could
campaign.
you?
He just went up to you again in the Bachelor.
Yeah.
He's got cutouts in the pavilion. Wow.
Alma, honey, I'll get you that Timo Meyer jersey.
Oh.
A cutout of her with Timo Meyer. Does that count as 2 or 1? Yeah, like if I'm 2 people.
I don't know. I would be interested to see if the Dodgers would do something like that.
That'd be awesome.
I'll use Josh's Disney stock.
And like, okay, so all the non-season ticket holders, you figure there's now 20,000 extra seats. Do they sell those? Like, is it just the cost of the
Because
printout?
of donation, right?
Is it or is it based off of where the seat at is? Like, is my printout in the field level cost more than my printout up in the top deck?
Hey, you got all my. You basically have all my money. If it costs me $20, just deduct the $20 anyway.
And I feel like everybody who they've already taken season ticket holder money in deposit.
Yeah,
Wow.
right.
Take it from there.
Yeah, take it from
Take
there.
it different from the.
We
front.
could put all of our seats together in money and get a bunch of Tommies out there.
Or hear me out. We buy a row and each of us wear like a different letter.
That spells out Tommy?
Yeah, or whatever one. is. HOOL.
Yeah.
Like there's only 4 of us. It just says Hool.
It's what the hell's a hole?
Hool. It's Hool.
Hooey!
Right? We just need an eye. We're there. I hope so. That seemed like a fun idea. That's one of the. I remember the was it the Korean League that did
Yeah.
the stuffed animals?
Yeah.
One of them did stuffed animals. That was cool. But like a cutout of you at the game, living vicariously.
You know what you should
Should I
do?
cut out?
You should find a way we can social distance. Like we all have it. We have
The bubbles.
No, we have a designated time. We could put. We're the one who puts the.
Oh, like you actually placed it.
Yeah.
So Tommy says make a little kid one with the Bustos face. That would actually be
Like
hilarious.
that one promo we had a few weeks ago.
With like little kid Bustos.
Yeah.
Or like whenever we put his on
You remember-
baby Zach's face.
You remember the joke we
Yes.
had? You remember the joke we had about the me riding the bike? We were finding out of that.
Yes.
In our,
And
I love the newest question about
Yes.
the cutouts. It's like, will my cutout go balls deep? Quite possibly.
gonna wear custom
Christian
gear.
will find a way to get a cutout in the stadium.
yeah, regardless. Yeah.
There's gonna be somebody. There's gonna be like somebody like at the front office like Christian. Do you want to cut out? I'm like,
We got an extra cut.
Yeah.
It's up in the reserve, but we'll sneak it down to the pavilion. yeah.
no, they're gonna put me like.
as is tradition.
They're gonna have me like
In the top deck by
it's
himself.
gonna have me like right over the Dodgers dugout
There you go.
on the field level, not the dugout club.
See, that's what I'm saying. Will the dugout club ones just be like stupid expensive, like the dugout club?
Right.
Like to get your
Well,
face
my
right behind.
like if I have that the
Mary
dugout
Hart
club,
and
will I
Larry
get
King.
like
Yes.
will I get that prime rib?
Can you just mail me whatever was in the buffet that
Right.
day?
That's what I'm wondering.
I want that Picante Dodger dog.
We were talking about this earlier. I wonder what they're gonna do with if they have some of the bobbleheads and giveaways made. Are we getting like the best?
Yeah,
Christmas,
just mail them to us.
Are we getting the best Christmas gift ever?
Yeah, mail us all the giveaways.
I think I sent that to you guys the other day, right? Like the Mookie Betts bobblehead. Like, man,
Yeah.
something
Hey,
see this
'cause
year.
every year they give us a weird Christmas gift sometimes.
So you figure all the ones that were scheduled for April
Yeah, they haven't made
should
it.
have been
Made.
close to production because it was a month before the season. I don't know how long it actually takes them, but you'd figure coming from China alone takes them, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So timing wise, maybe they have already started. So the Dodgers could potentially have some of these bobbleheads. So they're just gonna leave it in front of your cutout for you, and you gotta collect it.
Right.
Like, yeah, either they're gonna send it like in a gift or something, but it'd be interesting to see.
That's what you should do. That should be our Christmas gift this year. I mean, it was a good idea. I mean, it was a weird idea for last year's Christmas gift.
What was it?
A dirt from the
Oh
stadium,
yeah, it's the stadium dirt.
stadium dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, he had some good ones in the past, like the seats and the glass of wine, the bottle.
How do you know it's
drink
really
water.
Dodger Stadium dirt?
We don't know.
Right?
Like, did you go to the Home Depot?
Yeah, and just like the
empty
same bags that they fill the dirt with, they're just filling little
Yeah.
capsules with, like it's coming straight from the company that they buy.
Kind of like when the Kings did
It was
melted ice.
Yeah,
Honestly, it was the dirt from like parking lot 13.
No, it was dirt from the. I
There's a
figured,
broken bottle in my dirt.
we figure it's dirt from the track,
The warning track.
warning track.
That was legitness. Yeah.
Because of
Yeah, it was.
because of stadium construction, have you figured that's probably where you got the dirt from?
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Could have been. Makes sense. So, NFL news. I don't know if I have that.
Lakers
NFL
in 5.
graphic. Lakers in 3.
Cam
I
Newton.
like the
Wow.
transition. So,
Cam
again,
Newton.
coming true from last week. Last week we had making our predictions.
We had a bold question of
Bold strategy there, Con.
bold, kind of good arguments. Like, why is Cam Newton not signed? Hey, we said,
Right.
why is Cam Newton not?
Why is he still not signed? That was a big argument. Like,
How
How is that even possible?
We are saying we take him over Kaepernick.
Right.
and we feel like, yeah, he still should be in his prime. If he's healthy, he's still in his prime years. And then made the comment,
Several days
How is-
later.
how is Bill Belichick not signed Cam Newton to
Yeah.
extend this dynasty and reset it? And
Several days later.
literally within the week, Cam
He
Newton
signs.
signs with the Patriots
Yesterday.
And
Expected.
I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Like,
I want to see his outfits. What he's gonna wear.
Yeah,
Right,
the
you see that thing I
memes,
posted
yeah,
earlier?
the
Yeah,
meme.
we'd wear like the Patriot outfit with his swords.
I feel like it comes back to they can't keep getting away with this. That's literally what I feel like. I like watch Cam Newton with the what the craziest part is it's a 1-year deal, so he's gonna be motivated. He's gonna want to prove he's worth another big contract. He's gonna be playing. I feel like with extra motivation. Nothing is gonna be guaranteed, and usually that's when players I feel like are the scariest.
Does it mean the evil umpire still reigns again?
Yeah.
That putting him with Belichick, who coach who protects his quarterback. I mean, it's going to be interesting, and I feel like deep down I'm scared because I feel like we all know where we're headed. A very interesting scenario would be Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Buccaneers.
Oh god.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Can you imagine the conflict? So one of my buddies, she's a big Patriots fan. She was already freaking out about Brady.
What are we gonna do without Brady?
So now they got Newton, right? That's the whole thing. And I was like, what are you going to do if the Buccaneers and the Patriots play each other and you have to root against Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, rooting for Cam Newton? Like that conflict. I feel like, yes. Yes.
What
It
do
just,
you do?
it cuts over to Robert Kraft. He's just like,
I did not mean to play it twice. That was an accident. This one.
also, what about the fine that New England has to pay for filming other teams' workouts? New England doing New England things. Bill Belichick doing Bill Belichick things.
If he didn't do it, it'd be wrong.
The Houston Astros of football.
Yeah, the Houston Astros of football, but still got away with multiple championships.
Denora says he's league minimum incentives worth up to $7.5 million.
Yeah, it's funny. I can't see any of Tommy's comments. It's weird. It's crazy.
He's gonna get
Too bad.
benched after week 10 from Tommy. Look, the only Los Angeles team.
How do you kick someone off on the chat? Can you kick someone off on the chat?
Shout out to my boy Tommy. Thanks for backing me up, bro. I need it with these guys.
Not me.
Bustos sometimes takes my side, sometimes he doesn't, but these two clowns over here, they're not about it.
It's funny. I used to be like the most aggressive, like the Rams slander, but now like Rico just
We've broken.
Rico like in the group chat and on every episode since then, it's just been coming in hot.
He doesn't want. He's like, you know what?
I'm not rooting for the Rams. I'm just more like, all right, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You already know I can do it effortlessly. Just Rico's just like.
So Rico's the one who brings the heat with us, and I welcome. That's fine.
I can.
Are we gonna-
I just choose not to.
You
now.
seen my proposal in the chat earlier.
Are the
I'll
Rams
make that
gonna have a
happen.
season?
man. I'll make that happen.
So for those not aware, earlier today, Rico was threatening me in the chat room, saying if I slandered the Chargers at all during this episode, that he was just going to unleash
I was
F-bombs
gonna say the F word throughout.
nonstop,
I will shut production down.
trying to shut this episode down.
Watch your profanity.
He
I
was
will shut
literally
it down.
threatening me, and I was just like, what are you talking about?
Hey,
He's like, don't tempt me.
at least my sim game between Christian and I.
Yes, yes.
Even though I'm really
Also,
interested.
we had
Bef- yeah, we had some
So we had
fun.
we had some fun before we went on the air earlier.
And I was
tonight.
yelling
So,
at both of them.
Bustos he brought his GameCube and
Old
it
school,
was
03.
vintage OG purple GameCube.
blast from the past. Indeed, brought out some old games and.
What was it? Madden 03 was the
Madden
game.
03.
I was like, so like when he brought it out, I was like, all right, cool, GameCube, you know, and because we were talking about like, you know, just for the studio, just when we're off the air, we'll just hang out and BS and play
Or
video
stream
games.
some of our
Or
games.
stream some
Yes,
stuff just for the
eventually
fun of
working
it
on
for
it.
you guys for content on the channel, and he's pulling out all these games. He's got 007, he's got Mario Kart, which is standard for everything Nintendo,
Mario Party.
Mario
Not
Party.
Mario Party,
Mario
you know?
Party's fun.
Yeah.
And he pulls out like these sports games, and it's like he's got Tiger Woods and MVP baseball from 2005 with Pujols on
Yeah.
the Cardinals, and
Cardinals.
then he pulls out the two Madden games. He's got 03 and 07.
He
And
didn't
I'm
have
like,
Tony Hawk on that, did he?
No. That's
oh my god!
PlayStation.
If you had Tony Hawk out, you would have got smoked.
Watch out, it's PlayStation and Xbox.
Wait till we get them PS5, some boostos.
I can't wait for Christmas.
Everybody
time.
getting the smoke.
I can't wait for Christmas.
With everybody getting the
When
smoke.
he gets his next stimulus pack check.
Exactly.
When that Disney
But yeah, he
stock
pulls out
cashes
the Madden 03 and 07, and I'm like, hey, I think I still got it. Got some skills on there.
But no, you've never played GameCube, let alone that
Never
game.
played
on,
GameCube, but I'm like, all right, I think if
familiar with the
it's-
game, just not on GameCube. So
Yeah.
we'll give Christian this. He had to learn very quick because this is Busto's system. Bustos
Yeah.
has played this. Maybe it's been a long time, but it is his system. So he had a slight learning curve, and I'll give him that. It took him like the first quarter, but
Yeah.
we recorded. We're not going to give away everything that happened. We made a video. We'll upload the video. It's going to be fun, but
I
definitely something entertaining.
I did have the Chargers, and he did have the Niners.
We'll give you that. Chargers, 03 Chargers.
Led by a rookie Drew Brees.
Second year of Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Second year. Well, yeah, rookie per se.
And a bad quarterback then.
And
His backup QB was Doug Flutie.
yes.
But my defense, my God, I don't know how that defense was not a Super Bowl team.
Junior
Rodney
Seau.
Harrison, Junior
Seau,
Seau,
Quinn Jammer,
Donnie Edwards.
Donnie Edwards.
And then on
Sauce
offense,
Wiley?
Oh, I just LT.
he just went LT basically the whole match. And
Which is the smart route in every Madden game
We're-
when he was playing.
we won't give away what happened. Just
But
the
it's a
result.
really
Well,
good game.
Christians had a good team though. He had Jeff Garcia and
But
Squirrel Owens.
there was some late fourth quarter dramatics. It was fun. Be on the lookout. Something we're going to try to incorporate a little bit more next week. I think it's me versus Rico. We'll do a video for that one.
I'll be the Rams.
Eventually, when Tommy comes back, we'll work him into this. Wow.
Tommy's
Did you
probably-
say you were going to be the
Tommy's
Rams?
probably
I'll be the Rams.
foaming at the mouth right now about
I'll be the
what's going
Rams.
on.
Hey, Tommy can bring your own. You guys can bring your own.
We'll have Tommy play the winner of us. Cause
But
like,
let him bring the PlayStation 3 or whatever. What is it now? 4 or 5, whatever we are now. And we'll play the
If
Madden.
he's got Madden on PS, I want to do that.
honestly though, I forgot how much
That's the game console I'm used to. I played a lot on.
The GameCube graphics though held up.
It wasn't bad.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
they weren't bad.
I forgot, like for being how many years?
20 years old.
Yeah, 17 years old. I was like, you know what? This is pretty good, pretty entertaining. It was definitely fun, but
It was a fun game.
yeah,
I
like,
definitely want to run it back. I'm asking if we can run it back actually after we go off the air tonight.
I'll see what I can.
real
Do.
quick.
I'll see if I can find some footage or something.
Yeah.
See what I can uncover. I have
See
it
what
all
we
that
can
right.
do.
But yeah, that should be fun. We're gonna try to incorporate different, maybe some old games. Like do the 05 baseball, and just it's fun just seeing these rosters. It's fun just seeing a bunch of these players we completely forgot about. Like half the game was like, oh my god, is that so and so?
Like, oh, that's right. He was on the Chargers.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Like baseball would be fun actually. He's like, oh, you remember how bad that team, the Dodger team was?
yeah, we're just gonna have some interesting.
I would just use
Oh
Piazza.
my God, MVP baseball 05. That means that Jason Phillips was our catcher.
Yeah.
Starting catcher.
Todd Hundley was our catcher too, I think.
No, Hundley had already left by then.
I don't remember.
Do they have Piazza?
Piazza is in this game.
I think he had died like 2 years earlier.
I mean,
03,
I
right?
wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. He's been dead for 22 years. So.
Sean Figgins on the Angels.
Shawnee Figgins?
Choney?
Chone.
Choney?
Albert Pujols is a Cardinal, young Cardinal.
So we covered Kings in the draft. We got the Dodgers. We covered Lakers. We got football, I guess, for the most part. Anything NASCAR from our NASCAR expert?
I mean, you have back-to-back Pokemon races where Kevin Harvick won one and Denny Hamlin won the other one.
He makes the sound effects when he doesn't have them loaded on the board. He's like, I got.
If you don't watch NASCAR,
And we get and now we're gonna get a strike.
Pocono is one of the. It's like a triangle track.
It's
kind of shaped like a
basically
weird
a
triangle.
triangle,
It's not
yeah.
your typical thing.
I've noticed.
Longest
I
track.
saw that there's been a bunch of weather delays and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And
Golf. More
I actually paid attention on SportsCenter this week when they're talking about NASCAR.
What's funny is
I
that
was like-
it rained, but it only rained on one part of the track. They
Oh,
still
yeah?
had a yeah.
because it's that long.
Track,
it's 2.5
that's how big of a
miles.
track
It's
it is.
that
It, it
big?
rained
Yeah.
on one part, on one end of the
2.5
track, but
miles.
not the other. But they still
Does
had
that
it.
happen often?
It happens often. Some of
Yeah?
these tracks are big.
Yeah.
Some of these tracks are big.
Golfed. A couple of players tested positive. Again.
Tiger Woods?
Not
No.
my sweet
Tiger,
Eldritch.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
No.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Just a couple of
Tiger
caddies and
Woods, y'all.
golfers. You know,
All the fun stuff.
nothing major.
Shooter McGavin.
Happy Gilmore did that just not a half hour ago.
I don't know.
I think
I
that's
forget
it.
the
Well,
call.
I'm not
It's
happy.
kind of
Gil.
sad.
Oh my
well,
God.
It's kind of sad though. This is like the start. Kind of this week is usually the start of hardcore baseball season. With the 4th of July being kind of like the unofficial kickoff.
What was crazy
Yeah.
was actually
second half of the season.
Yeah, it's coming up to All Star break, right?
Yeah.
Usually this time of year.
When
Yeah,
does-
NASCAR this still happens.
When does the All-Star game officially get canceled or
I don't know.
postponed?
Should
Because
be
I know they haven't made it official
They
yet,
haven't
but
made it official.
like what were they
I
just
know we
waiting
can
for?
talk about.
End it.
I know what we can talk about. You see
Oh,
the,
headphones are back on. Let's go, boost
yeah,
this.
you
he's
see
ready.
the new pictures of the new stadium of the stadium?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Oh,
I
the
know,
Chargers,
how
yeah,
ma-
SoFi's great.
Imagine
I
how
love the
great
Chargers
how that
also.
looks.
That tenant.
Those the pictures of the turf game put in.
Yeah. It looks like it's almost ready to go. Okay, I'm going to give the Chargers this. Here's going to be a rare. I'm going to give it to the Chargers. The Chargers media, specifically their social media department. No, this is a positive, not sad. Is
I'm using it in a positive light. That's what I was doing, all right?
I feel like giving us more sneak peeks into the stadium and videos and all this like content regarding they're doing like those behind the scenes construction videos and like what's going into it. I'm like,
Can I?
this is
I
the
wanna
Rams
add- I
stadiums and
wanna
they're
add on
lagging
to
in
that,
this.
and also we really do need a Chargers graphic. All right.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Dude, what
Okay.
side are you on? You a Charger fan or not?
What's wrong
Just let
with
us know
you?
right
Hey,
now.
who's the?
Busto said no.
Who's the?
I understand you're neutral, but come on, for the
Wait,
sake of
I'm saying-
You are
neutrality.
worse than
Chargers,
Switzerland.
But who's the owner of this
Are
franchise?
you sure? Are you sure you're
It
Switzerland?
don't mean you have to kiss his butt.
Wow,
I don't.
It's true he doesn't. I wish he
Oh
would
my
do it a little bit
God.
more. All right, next episode I'll do a graphic where one of these side ones will be a bolt or something.
Tommy,
Yeah, I mean like the auxiliary logos
On
on
your
the
side.
sides here, you know.
On that side though, because
Hey, but there's
If
one
that
thing.
awkward-looking bighorn sheep can get a spot here,
Hey,
on,
but
on,
there's
on
one
the
thing.
ribbon.
hold
There's
on,
one-
hold on,
hey,
hold on.
What's wrong with his nose?
Hey, there's one thing for sure though.
This is-
Hey DJ,
What's
there's
wrong
one-
with the Rams' nose?
we
It
did
kind of looks
put the
weird.
blue
It's a very,
bars.
it's a very
There's one
successful-looking logo.
DJ, there's one thing for sure. We'll
What?
never have a San Francisco team
Ooh, that is
logo
true.
on
That
this
is
program.
Yeah.
True. That is true.
See, he was trying to slander the 49ers, but I understand that. I agree with that. I'm okay with, no San Francisco logos on the green screen, obviously. See, you were trying to burn me, and then it backfired. You had a
Alright.
3-1 lead, and you blew it.
Or a 21-point lead.
Exactly.
No. We gave up 21 points. No, the
I was
Niners
being-
gave up 21
I was
points
being
in the fourth
Tommy. I
quarter.
was being Tommy.
We had a 10-point lead and blew it and gave up 21 points.
21? 21?
Any other topics we gotta talk about?
You're right.
21?
SoFi Stadium looking amazing. I can't wait to not be able
Yeah,
to go
so I
for
was
another
going to
year.
say about that, you were mentioning that the Chargers social media team has been, and I wanted to say that that social media team does not miss.
as far as
They
like, on
don't
Twitter and
miss
stuff,
when it
or
comes
what?
to like the content and like just the interactions they have with like
I'll give them that.
they have been.
I mean,
I don't follow any. I don't see anything other than like the stadium updates, but they do a good job on like that kind of stuff. Because like obviously, like every day, every YouTube video I'm watching, like SoFi Stadium construction progress, and it's just like they're lifting more beams
It's
onto
like
the
the
roof
Rams.
today.
The Rams will like every once in a while take a picture like, so this is what's
Soon,
going on.
yeah, like come on.
Meanwhile, the Chargers are like, so
that's how we pay rent.
Yeah, and they're like, dude,
like,
the
hey, bro, you got.
architects-
You're like, hey, bro, you got a drone?
That's our
Hey,
rent.
come through. You want to make
bring
some-
it in the stadium. Fly around
Yeah.
in the stadium.
You good? You good?
That was the first time I've seen it in the stadium because even the Rams, it's just like flying around the outside or the perimeter. The Chargers, the one the other day, they had a drone in the stadium, and I was like, oh, that's how the suites and everything.
I guess that's how the
better.
Chargers are paying
So
rent.
there's
$1
also
rent.
a secondary like amphitheater of sorts also
Yeah.
on the property that
Basically, their version of the Microsoft Theater, and I
Yeah.
guess that's going to be the home of the e-gaming teams. I forget what they're called, like the
Gorillas. LA is no, for Call of Duty they're the Gorillas.
Valiant
Valiant.
Yeah.
One of those.
for like Overwatch and all that stuff.
I get, yeah, and that's going to be the home of one of the bigger teams, and they're going to be holding like tournaments and all that kind of stuff, and that's going to be their stadium, along with I guess other like Microsoft Theater kind of a thing. So that'll
Yeah,
be
it's like
interesting.
I know in Jacksonville at
Chill.
TIAA Bank Field, that's where the Jaguars play at. They have this other spot. They have a concert place like right behind it, behind one of the end zones on the other side. It's connected.
Same
It's called
thing.
Daly's Place, and that's where they do wrestling right now.
Who's those?
AEW. So.
Come on, guy. Be a professional podcast.
Talking to the boss now.
Come on, guy.
Jeez.
So I feel like we covered our stuff. I feel like we got anything.
Tommy,
anyone
go to
wanna
bed. It's
add?
late.
Tommy,
Knock off
put,
with your dumb comments.
put baby Zach to sleep. Oh man, Tommy just
Tommy's over here
preaching the
ragging on
truth.
You know something? All right,
He's truthing.
I gotta. People rag on the Chargers and like the attendance they had at Dignity Health Sports Park, and honestly, it's more. I feel like that's more like people in San Diego that are still bitter about the team relocating back to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I've been to
Look
a few.
at
I've been to
all
quite.
the
I've been to a
Rams
few
fans.
games there at Dignity Health when they were playing there, and
Look at all the
And it-
Rams fans when the Packers
A
came.
shout out to
in,
Tommy
Right,
in the
like,
chat
so
Look at
saying
all the Rams fans
I'm
when
like,
Niners showed up
Chargers
in
fans,
town.
like Charger fans get a bad rap about like letting the opposite,
It's
opposition
like a home game for the other
outnumbering
team.
them, and
Coliseum.
Rico's telling it right now. I've been to.
I hate to say
I
it,
went to
that's
all
all
four-
the games
In
is up
fact,
for
I
the
don't think
Dodgers.
I
I
don't
went to
think-
all 4 games where the Niners played at the Coliseum, and we outnumbered. The
I don't
Rams
think
fans.
DJ wore a Rams jersey the last time the Packers were here. I think he wore
What?
he wore a yellow
There's-
hat
there's-
too, or
there's-
something,
there's-
and a green
I hate to say
jersey.
it.
Packers
He
fans
was trying
showing
to
up in
mix
numbers.
in.
Tommy coming with the straight facts, saying maybe they should build a field inside of the Microsoft Theater so they can fill that up.
Ooh.
I like it.
Hey,
But I'll
2
get-
fans, 2,000 fans,
I'll say this:
all good.
LA
I'm a fan.
the non-LA traditional sports teams, they don't draw.
I can't wait to see the
It's
Raiders
gonna be like-
invade
it's gonna be like the
SoFi
Kings.
Stadium on the first Chargers
Look-
game.
Look at the
It's
King
gonna
fan
be bad.
base.
I'll be realistic. Like it's gonna
we
be.
are hardcore Kings fans, but when Toronto comes into town, when Chicago comes into
All
town,
those transplants.
the transplant, they take over the Staples Center.
I mean, I guess taking all the fun away from
They take like the
just
lower bowl
brought
for
this
the
thing
most
to a
part.
screeching
The
halt.
Rams will leave LA again.
It's
Oh,
noticeable.
no.
It's noticeable.
How dare
Sorry
you
about that,
cut me
everybody.
off. How
We
dare
had some
you.
technical difficulties with this flander over here, but you guys, solid episode,
Yes.
fun. Hopefully next week we'll start talking summer camp. Maybe we'll have some interesting.
Or we take a 4th of July break, we'll see.
Oh, actually, that is true. It's 4th of July next week.
Yeah,
Maybe
we
we
might
won't
do
have an episode,
Well,
but
it's Saturday, but
next,
we'll see.
we'll let you know. Just we'll be posting it, but fun.
I
Do you,
think-
do you actually
I
do you know
think-
the button we
yes,
play
I
on our
know.
outro? Okay, I just want to make sure. we're
I
ready to
think
go.
if anything, we might not record. We might not broadcast on Monday, but let's say Tuesday.
I don't know. We'll keep it open. We're not going to commit it just yet, but maybe an episode next week, maybe not. If not, either way, we're going to bring the fun when we come back. We're going to bring
We're
the
gonna bring
facts.
some. We're gonna
And-
bring some things
and-
happen.
We're going to bring back the
Hopefully-
Rona.
Hope,
Sorry, no.
What?
No, no, no,
No,
sorry,
no, 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 no,
Sorry,
no.
sorry, sorry,
that's
sorry,
already
sorry.
coming back,
Sorry, sorry, sorry,
unfortunately.
sorry, sorry.
Hopefully,
Hold on a
we're 1
second.
week closer to the season starting.
Excuse me, bitch.
That's what I was trying to get out there.
Hopefully, we
That's
have
a
the
good
season, sports season's back.
Hopefully, we'll be talking soccer soon. Maybe that's gonna be the first one we're gonna get to talk.
Yeah,
so.
we don't get that many opportunities to really talk about.
I hope
the
I hope
footy.
everybody who isn't a soccer fan, since that's gonna be one of the first real sports to come back, get into soccer. Even like Tommy and Rico, all these guys who never really watched too much. I hope all these new fans.
There's
come.
hope for Rico. Tommy is
I've
just
been a
like,
couple
no,
Galaxy games.
It's a good
How
time.
about me?
I mean,
cares about you?
How about me? Do I have
like I
hope?
said, Tommy and Rico.
So
and-
help me God, if you picked that poverty franchise
Oh,
on,
I'm not
on
gonna
King
pick-
and
Hey, I was
Figueroa,
there
LAFC.
at Rob Keeney's first on his
I'm not gonna.
debut.
Hey, don't worry. I'm not
Oh, yeah,
picking
Robbie Keane.
LAFC, whatever. C.
LAFC. Oh,
Los Angeles
cut her
former
off.
Chivas.
yes.
I'm not LAFC.
We're supposed to be all about LA sports, but it's been firmly established we will slander that squad.
None of us are LAFC fans. That's the thing.
We don't do that here.
Ooh, here's gonna be some conflict.
What?
Read the chat.
I turned mine off.
Alma says
Alma, no!
LAFC. Clap,
Alma,
clap,
no. All right,
Wow.
it's okay. Nobody's perfect.
clap. So, would you root for LAFC if Alma
Hell no.
invited you to a date to a game?
Hard no.
Hard no.
Wow.
You'll decline her date
I'd go on a date with her to an LAFC match. but
as
I would,
LAFC fans.
I would.
No,
No,
wow.
hell no. Absolutely
If she was
not.
What
like,
if she asked you to wear
If
it?
she
Alma, baby, I love you, but that's where I draw
if
the line.
Alma
All
was
right.
like, baby, wear this LAFC jersey with me and come sit in the
And
3252
put one of those face paintings of LAFC.
and let's get some gold face paint. Just make this the most
And
magical first
what's the
date.
section that they sit in?
The 3252.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
So you will decline this date with
I
her.
would hard decline.
Wow, you heard it here.
Hard
Bustos.
decline.
You accepted. You
I accept that.
he accepted. There you go.
Because hey,
It's settled.
guess
The
what?
Bachelor's done. Good season,
Hey,
guys. Catch y'all next
It
week.
is what it is. Hey,
know why?
hey,
I just like-
I'm just saying loyalty over trends.
Hey,
all right.
Wow.
I like the
Alma,
Gal-
remember
My team
he
got 5
You
on
are a
it.
trend.
Alma, remember he called you a trend.
Hey,
No.
I like the Galaxies more.
Alma, you're not a trend.
But I don't really follow soccer. So
You're like, I don't care either way.
That's how
I'm
they.
just trying
That's
to
how
win.
they. That's how they suck you in, Josh.
I'm just trying
That's
to
how
win.
they suck you in over there with LAFC.
if it's a Galaxy versus LAFC game, I'm rooting for the Galaxy. But
There
if
you
it's
go.
LAFC versus anyone else,
No,
who cares?
no.
Ah, you can't do
No,
that.
you
That's
can't
like,
do
I'm
that.
gonna root for
You
the
cannot do
Lakers
that.
when they're not
That's
playing
not
the
how this
Clippers. I'm
works.
rooting for the
Hey,
Clippers.
but-
That's not how this works.
Like I said,
Alma says she's gonna remember this episode! Exclamation
like
point!
I- We're not saving
exclamation
it.
point!
like
Exclamation!
I
We're not
said,
saving this episode.
Like I
Hey,
said,
I said what I said. Alma.
like I said about MLS soccer, whatever.
So like I'm
Kind of like the Rams, huh? Whatever.
like
Yeah.
I'm saying though. Thank you.
Whatever.
I hope people pick up soccer. I hope it becomes more of a trend. I hope it grows. They feel like they had an opportunity to be the first ones to kind of get it together, which baseball should have been the first one. We should be having baseball this week. If they would have done the
Actually,
Well,
deals,
this
it's
weekend-
funny. This past weekend was
This
supposed to
weekend?
be Dodgers Giants up in San Francisco, and that's usually around the time of year
Why,
where I go
what?
up there.
I thought 4th of July the Dodgers usually play at Dodger Stadium.
No, I'm saying this past weekend.
Oh, this weekend.
This
This
last
past
weekend.
weekend, the Dodgers would have been playing in San Francisco.
thought it was this
3-game
weekend.
series
Does
against the
St.
Giants.
Louis have an MLS team?
No.
Nope.
No.
They need to make one over there and ship the Rams back over there. Too.
Oh!
Give 'em a stadium over
Oh my goodness, that's so ruthless.
And take Tommy with you.
In that note, time to end the show.
Also, Alma
No.
said plot twist. She's gonna be a San Jose Quakes fan. JK.
San Jose
She's just
Quakes.
trolling me,
Just
Christian.
trolling.
Oh
me.
yeah, Christians get all Christians teams that she doesn't
Hey,
even
it
like.
is what it is.
I mean,
I mean, I'm loyal. I'm loyal to the Galaxy.
regardless.
But yeah, in the meantime, actually, it's funny, as a podcast, as we're going to be trying to talk about soccer more often. In the meantime, if you want to get a head start on that, there's some guys I know, a podcast by the name of the Riot Squad cast featuring Christopher Tucker and Ed Rodriguez. There's a couple guys I know from the LA Riot Squad, the supporters group for the LA Galaxy. They do a podcast every week talking about the Galaxy and Riot Squad, and you guys should check it out.
So, yeah, so don't forget, after our episode, just go straight into their episode. But after our episode,
Right.
then go into their episode.
And if
Has to-
anyone-
They have
Has
a
to be
better,
in
they have
that
a
order.
much better in-depth look at the Galaxy.
But you guys, solid episode. Twas fun.
Yes, it
We
was.
covered a lot of
It was
stuff.
lovely.
Fun, good time. We don't know if we'll be back next week. Maybe not. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Please
That helps us so much.
Have a safe 4th of July. Don't.
share
Wash your
us
hands.
with your friends.
Don't-
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask. Wash your hands.
Don't like too much fireworks.
Don't be a Rams fan.
Don't light fireworks at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Please,
Our
we're all dog
I'm
owners
trying to
here,
sleep.
man. Leave our dogs.
My
alone.
dog is like.
Y'all like dogs?
I
Then
mean-
don't set off your fireworks
Yeah,
at like ungodly
how
hours
many
of the night.
fireworks does people have this year for 4th of July? 'Cause
And if you can't even find them in Vegas, which is the crazy part.
Yeah,
But everyone else
Hey, yo,
has
I
them.
found them on Wilshire and Alvarado. Though.
yeah, you did.
Real talk.
Hey, I've heard this is record year for fireworks sales.
Yeah, it feels like it because the last month it sounds like even here recording this episode sounds like a war zone because we're like in an industrial area. We're
welcome to
not even in a
Bellflower.
neighborhood. This is like an industrial park we're at. So
That's what it sounds like.
it really is.
Yeah.
Fun episode, guys. Until next time, don't forget Hooligan Sports Podcast. We love you guys. Subscribe.
Chick-fil-A!